Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about web development roadmap. So web development is one of the most versatile skill if you want to go into tech. If you know web development, you can use it to make projects for yourself. As a college student, you can apply for internships and placements. You can find freelancing opportunities as well. You can contribute in open source. If you want to make a website portfolio or a startup project, you can make it also. Otherwise, you can also learn it as a hobby. Let's get started. Here, I am going to start with the step-by-step path of web development. Web development contains two parts, front-end development and back-end development. Front-end developers deal with the feel and behavior of a website, that is, the part of any website with which we can interact as a user. Front-end is what a user actually experiences when they visit a website. Back-end developers make this behavior possible. They do something behind the scene that users don't get to see. For example, if you look above Google Play, you can check your balance. You can see who is in your contact list. So this part will be your front end. Or if you are able to watch my video on YouTube, you can interact with this video. You can increase its speed. You can comment. You can hit the like button. So this part we will call as front end. Other than this, there is a part of website with which we are not able to interact, in which things are happening automatically and we are never aware of it. This is called as backend. For example, how did this video reach your phone from the YouTube server? Or if when you transfer money from Google Play, how the money deduct from your bank account and go into your friend's bank account. So this part is called as backend. And one more example will be when you go to a restaurant, you just experience the dining area, the tables, chairs, menu and overall ambience. That's your front end. Now backend would be the kitchen of the restaurant. It's where all the behind the scene action happens. Ingredient preparation, cooking and order fulfillment. All of that happens in the kitchen. Apart from this, there are databases in website. The job of database is to store data. In today's date, the big companies have data of lakhs and crores of users. All the messages, photos, videos that we send on WhatsApp, all this data is stored in the database of companies. So these are the three major components. These are the pillars on which entire website runs. Now let's talk about the step-by-step roadmap of web development. The first step is front end. There are three technologies to learn in the front end: HTML, CSS and JavaScript. These are very good, very useful and very easy technologies to learn. Now you can imagine any website as a house. Whenever a house is built, first the foundation is laid, bricks are laid, cement is laid. So HTML would be the blueprint of this house. What are the different rooms in the house? Where the kitchen will be? All of that is HTML. For example, on YouTube, HTML is what decides that there will be a like and subscribe button. CSS is like an interior design that decides what your room looks like. For YouTube, it decides the shape, color and size of the subscriber and like button. When you hit the subscriber button, the color of the button changes. That's also CSS doing its magic. JavaScript is like an electrician installs smart home features in your house. In the YouTube example, when you hit the subscribe button, JavaScript sends a request to YouTube server to update the subscription of my channel. YouTube server will store this information and use it to recommend my next videos to you. Now that you have understood the basics, let's see how we can learn HTML, CSS and JavaScript. To learn and test these things, you can go to W3 Schools. For HTML, you can start from here. For CSS, you can start from here. And for JavaScript, you can refer to this. But learning technologies and actually applying them to solve new problems are two different things. With everything that you have learned so far, if I give you a new web app to build, most people are going to struggle with it. First of all, we have to practice these three well. How can we prepare? With the help of project. Our step 2 will be to making projects. How can we make projects? The ideal project will be clone based projects because we do not have to design anything in it. Clone means that the website like Amazon or Flipkart is already made. What will we do? We will try to copy the front end of their website. With that, we do not have to take the heavy work of designing our website. They already designed a good website. They took a lot of time. We will just try to replicate it. The second type of project that we can make is a portfolio based project. We can make a simple portfolio for ourselves. In the beginning, you make a single page website in which we can add information about ourselves. After the project, the third thing we can learn is our CSS frameworks. The most popular framework in the industry is Bootstrap. So you can learn Bootstrap. Otherwise, there are many students who can learn Tailwind. To learn Tailwind quickly, you can go to the Tailwind playground and play around with code. You can read their beautifully written documentation and test what you are learning in the playground. But we have to remember that we do not have to learn all the frameworks. We have to learn only one of them because the rest are almost similar in usage. So we can start with any one, we can implement it. Let's move on to the JavaScript frameworks. Just like CSS framework, we also have JavaScript framework to make our life easy. There are again many popular options here, but we will only talk about the most popular option, which is React. Technically, React is not a framework, it's a library. React makes building user interface more manageable by breaking them into small reusable components. React has a virtual DOM that allows it to update only part of the web page rather than re-rendering the entire thing. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. So how do we learn React effectively? The official React documentation has made it very easy for us. Once you finish with front end, to test your knowledge, you can build a app like Instagram. Don't worry about videos or reels for now. Just build a version where people can share their photos and see a new newsfeed containing pictures of their friends. You can also add functionality to like photos and add comments. Showing pictures from friends might not be possible right now because we have not completed the backend yet. Once our step 2 is complete, after that we will talk about step 3. In step 3, we will finally learn about backend. We have a lot of choices in the backend. We can learn Node.js, Django or PHP or Java. We have to learn only one of them. For backend, we will again pick something that is very easy to learn. We already know JavaScript, so the easiest thing to do would be to use JavaScript in the backend as well. JavaScript was designed to be a scripting language for web browser. To be able to run JavaScript on the server or backend, we need to use Node.js. The meaning of Node.js is to write code in JavaScript. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime for server in which JavaScript is used. So syntax will be easy for us. It will be easy to learn the process. Plus Node.js is very popular in industry. Now when we are learning backend, it does not mean that we just have to learn backend technology. It also means that we have to learn about databases. In the industry, one is SQL and there is another option which we call as NoSQL. SQL means that we are storing data in the form of tables. Like we make our table in the Excel sheet, in the same way we store our data in the form of tables. We call it SQL, structured query language. And NoSQL means no matter how do you store the data, just don't store it in the table. The most popular among them is MongoDB database. Now if you are learning Node.js, then you have to prefer to use MongoDB. If you are learning Django, you have to prefer SQL. Now for example, similar to front end, you need a JavaScript framework for the backend as well. Express.js provides you all the tools you need to build APIs. Remember, in the beginning of the video, we talked about how dining area is the front end and the kitchen is the back end of a restaurant. An API would be the equivalent of the server of the restaurant. Basically, you place all your orders or requests with the API and API respond to you with the information you need. An API does this with the help of the data stored in a database. So in addition to Express, you will need to use a library like Mongoose to talk to the database. Now to test your backend knowledge, continue building the backend of the Instagram project that you started. Add the capability to upload photos and follow each other by storing all the required information in a database. Create a news feed that contain actual photos of your friend and not the dummy one. And once we learn the backend, our step 3 will be completed. Then we will come to step 4. Step 4 is deployment. Deployment means all the projects that we have made using web development. In the beginning of all those projects, we will run only on our laptops or computer. How can we send those projects to our friends? How can we make such a link? Like by searching google.com, everyone can go to Google's website. So how can we host our projects? How can we share their link? That is called deployment. So we should know about deployment project. So this completes our step 4. So friends, if you liked the video, subscribe my channel and share your thoughts in the comment box and hit the like button. Thank you.